Hello, beautiful souls. It's Shy. Today I'm doing an energy reading for Twin Flames as a collective for the Divine Masculines and the Divine Feminines. I hope that all of you guys had a beautiful, lovely day, and I'm sending blessings out to all of you. Before I get into the reading, I just want to say thank you to all of my beautiful subscribers. I just hit over 100 subscribers, and I just wanted to acknowledge that and let you all know how thankful I am for you. Every time I have a new subscriber, I thank the Most High, my Heavenly Father, for each and every one of you, and I love you so much. And just please remember to like, subscribe, and share, you guys. And if you're interested in a personal reading, I will leave my information below. Okay, loves, so let's get into this reading. I know the energies have been like all over the place, you guys. You know, the past couple of weeks, really all of April, you know, we've ended cycles. We've, like I said, there's been like shifts in energies, you know, where we feel, you know, really happy, and we can feel that this union has taken place. And then, you know, we have these, you know, then our energy changes a little. So for the recent past energy of the Twin Flames as a collective, and I didn't separate the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine's energies. I just pulled for Divine Masculines and Divine Feminines past, current energy, present energy, and future energy in union together. And all of the cards that came out kind of go with Divine Masculines and Divine Feminines. So you guys, make sure you watch the entire video so that you can get everything that's for you. So before I get into this uncertainties, guys, the overall energy of this reading is preparation. And as you all know, and you know, you can feel energetically and spiritually, you know, we've been prepared. We're being prepared. We've been prepared, being prepared, and we've kind of been in this like training for us to spiritually mature, so that when we do come into union, you know, our marriages are the way that God intended them to be. So back to the recent past energy of the Twin Flames as a collective, we have uncertainties. So this is the Two of Swords, and to me this just represents the Divine Masculine as well as the Divine Feminine. And as far as this uncertainty, this energy that both the Divine Masculines and the Divine Feminines have, what I'm getting spiritually, the best way I can explain that to you guys would be, you know, we can feel this union, you know. So it's kind of like when you have, let's say when you have a newborn, and you have this beautiful gift, you have this baby that, you know, the Most High Heavenly Father Source has blessed you with this gift, this miracle, and you are, you know, just so thankful and beyond happy when you look into the eyes of this beautiful gift that you have. And for a split second, you know, for a split second, you know, you can think, what if anything ever happened, you know, to this baby, or what if the baby stopped breathing? And it's like, just like how those fears can come in, that's the uncertainty. That's the energy that the Divine Masculines and Divine Feminines are in. Just that fear of the unknown, even though they know everything that's for them, and they're thankful for this gift and this miracle. Okay? So we have the present, going into the present energy of the Divine Masculines as well as the Divine Feminines. We have tests. The Divine Masculine as well as the Divine Feminine, we're being tested right now. And like I said, these cards go with the Divine Masculine as well as the Divine Feminine, you know, because our counterparts are a reflection of us. So they're like kind of different messages, but the same. Like the divine masculine is being tested when it comes to this union, when it comes to choosing himself. You know, are you going to choose you? Are you going to live in your truth? Are you going to choose, you know, go backwards like you have been? Are you going to choose to live in your inner truth and connect with the wholeness of who you are? Are you going to choose to be concerned about things that no longer serve you? And the divine feminine, as far she's being tested as far as, you know, are you going to choose to the same old patterns of thinking, you know? It's kind of like for divine feminines, you know how like if you've received some, you know, someone gives you advice, whether it's like a spiritual advice or about love, and they give you advice, and you know that that advice is for you. You know it's good advice. It's not bad advice, but you know you just kind of go on about your day, you know, after you hear that advice, and every day, you know, comes and you just keep going on about your day. Well, this is the test that we have, you know, right now. Are you going to apply everything that you've learned on this journey? Are you going to apply it, or are you going to go backwards? Are you going to go backwards to, you know, your old ways of thinking? These the old templates of love, the old programming. So that's the test that the divine feminine is in right now. And as far as this card came out, the Seven of Swords. As far as the current energy of divine masculines and divine feminines. So, you know, the divine masculines as well as divine feminines feel like someone's, you know, taking something from them, or not so much someone's taking something from them, but it's kind of like you feel like you have to give up something, and you do. You have to give up something in order for there to be a new beginning, in order, you know, but this is the energy that both divine masculines and divine feminines are feeling. And the divine masculine has to let go of his ego, you know. And I just want to say to divine masculines that, you know, what you are letting go of is, you know, the parts of you that no longer serve you, like your ego, you know, your fears, the things that no longer serve you, materialistic things, old patterns of thinking. Those are the things that you have to let go of. But when those things are gone, you know, all the best parts of you don't have to let go of. You know, those are the parts that will just be enhanced and shine and enlightened, and the more you elevate into your who you truly are. So it's an illusion that, you know, you're going to lose anything, because what you're gaining is love. And as far as the divine feminine, she feels like she's lost a lot of herself as well. But that's an illusion too, because, you know, she's only lost parts of her ego. And the reason why the divine feminine feels like that is because, like, we've given so much of our souls. Like that, like what more of our souls can we give to our divines? You know what I mean? Like, as far as sharing our souls with them. And but when we were doing that, it came from our heart, and it was us, you know, it came from our heart space, so it had nothing to do with our ego. So you just have to change your perception of whatever you feel like has been taken from you along this journey. As far as the future, we have gossip. And I have a couple of different messages when I see this card as far as gossip. I would hope that divine masculines as well as divine feminines, that you're not gossiping about your counterpart, because you're just, talking about yourself if you're doing that. It's like when the divine feminine, I I know divine masculines do this as well, but a lot of times it's feminines that when they feel like they have to share every little piece of, like, every thought they have on social media or something. And when you're doing that, you're showing people who you are, not the other person. So I just want to say that. And as far as gossiping, what I'm getting is that you need to start gossiping. You need to start speaking this union into existence. Start speaking your truth. If you feel like you're in union or you're going to come to union, say it. And if there's no one to say it to, write it down. And the other message that I have is for this gossiping is that divine feminines need to stop with the gossip, the gossip in their minds, the chatter that goes on in your mind. And you're gonna need to start meditating more and get rid of all that self-gossip, pretty much all that chatter all those thoughts that you allow yourself to think that aren't even yours. They're not coming from your soul. Because if you have if your thoughts are making you feel lower vibrational emotions, then that's an indicator that your inner being, your soul, doesn't feel the same way that you feel about that emotion or about that situation or circumstance that you're feeling. So you're going to have to be able to know the difference between a thought that is coming from you and a thought and a thought that's received, versus like when you're having thoughts that are just like your ego. Okay, loves? So for the future, the energy of union for divine masculines as well as divine feminines, we have the Queen of Swords. So the divine masculine as well as the divine feminine, they're stepping into their truth, and they're having this inner strength. When it comes to their independence, they're protecting themselves. They're cutting out. She has a sword, so she's like, she's kind of protecting this union. She's like cutting out things that no longer serve her. And then we have these two cards came out as well. We have the Queen of Cups, and we have decisions, the King of Swords. So this is really cool. This has to do with both divine masculines as well as divine feminines. The Queen of Cups is all about, she's like generous, she's protective, she's loving, she's sensitive. So this just represents both divine masculines and divine feminines are they're kind of being very protective over this union. The Queen of Cups, she's not like selfish. She's not just thinking about her emotions. She thinks about the emotions of her loved ones as well. And the Knight of Swords is all about decisions, and the decisions that need to be made. The divine masculine, he knows that he has to make these decisions, and these decisions are, it's the most important decision he's ever made in his life, not just in this lifetime, but in every lifetime. Like every life that he's ever lived has brought him to this moment, and he knows it, and that's the pressure that he feels, because he knows that he has to make this decision, and this decision that he makes has everything to do with the rest of the time that he spends on this earth, you know, in this lifetime. So as far as the divine masculine's energy right now, where his thoughts and his mind is, when it comes to this union, is healing. Healing and the Six of Pentacles, which is generosity. So what I'm getting from this is that the divine masculine is, this is really beautiful, you guys, because this means that the divine masculine is currently healing, and that he is being very generous when it comes to this healing, you know, meaning that he's being generous with himself. So if you haven't heard from your divine, just know that he's not like sitting around twiddling his thumbs, that he's really like, he's healing right now, and he's giving himself the time that he needs to heal properly. And that's always a really beautiful thing, because this card represents, you know, prosperity, and which means that he's spiritually, he's prospering spiritually right now, and he's giving himself the time that he needs to heal. And that's just beautiful. And we have the Eight of Swords and the Tower for the energy that the divine masculine feels towards his divine feminine. Now, you know, as far as these cards, I've never received these cards as far as when I've asked a question about the divine feminine, but this just tells a story, you know. This is about him having a tower moment, him letting go of the pieces of himself that he no longer needs, him being rebuilt. This is all about, like, if you see the tower is crumbling down, pieces of his ego, his fears, it has to be rebuilt for a new foundation. So he's letting go of all these restrictions, the things that have, you know, held him back from this rebirth. This is the Eight of Swords, and it's about restrictions. So if you could just imagine the divine masculine having like 8 swords in his back and feeling like held down from all of this, like, past, from generation to generation, just like all of these burdens, all of the old templates of love, all of the old programming, all of the you know, all of the things that he needs to let go, that make him feel so stuck, you know. He's letting go of all these things right now in order for this union to take place. And for the divine feminines, we have the Seven of Cups. So this has to do with choices, divine feminine, and these choices that you need to make right now are huge. You know, there's choices that the divine feminine needs to make, as far as, you know, are you going to choose to basically, are you going to choose to have the old patterns of thinking, or are you going to choose new? And it's even more than that. You know, you're going to have to step up and make these choices that some of you guys have not made. You know, you need to choose, as far as choosing your alignment over everything, as far as choosing to put your connection, your alignment to Source, to the Most High, over everything. Choosing to put God first in your marriage before you come into physical union. Choosing to set boundaries for this relationship that you've never set before, so that when you do come into union, those boundaries will already be set in place. You know, are you choosing to basically, the divine feminine needs to take the pacifier out of the divine masculine's mouth, pretty much. You know, a lot of our divine masculines have not, you know, engaged and told us how they truly feel or what they want when it comes to this union. And part of it has to do with the divine feminines, because she's chose, you know, she's chose unconditional love, which is really beautiful. But she's also enabled the divine masculine in a lot of ways. And when I say take the pacifier out, I'll tell you guys a story really fast. So one of my kids, I have 5 beautiful babies, and they're all older now, but my middle son, when he was little, he took a while to talk, and he just always had his pacifier in his mouth. And so most of, you know, my other kids, they were saying like sentences at 16 months, 19 months, you know. So he was, you know, around like 2.5, maybe closer to 3, and I was getting worried because he really was not talking. And so, you know, we were in church. This is back when I used to go to church. So I was at church with my kids, and he kept throwing his pacifier. And so I told him, you know, if you throw your pacifier again, you will not have this pacifier anymore, ever. You know, so sure enough, he threw it, but it was at the time that the pastor was closing in prayer, so it was really, really, really quiet. But I took the pacifier and I kept it, and everyone in the church could hear, because it was so quiet. You could hear him say, you know, "Give me back my pacifier." So it was really funny, because we had, you know, that was the first time we heard that we could hear him, you know, speak, and he said a full sentence. And it just goes, you know, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because sometimes, you know, we need to stop pacifying our divine masculines, because it's like, in a way, it's like they haven't engaged because they haven't really had to, because we pacifier them. And, you know, maybe we need to take that pacifier out and set boundaries. So, I hope you guys received that and I said it right. But, as far as what the divine feminine energy is when it comes to her divine masculine, we have endings. And this is really beautiful because, you know, you have to come to an ending in order for there to be a new beginning. So we need to have, you know, new beginnings when it comes to this union. You know, we're going to come to union, we're going to start afresh. It's you know, we're not going to take all this baggage with us that, you know, that's happened along this journey. And I'm gonna leave that because I did pull clarifiers as well. I'm going to try to speed up too. Okay, so we have justice when it comes to this healing. So when our divine masculines, you know, come to a healing on the things that they need to heal, they're gonna have this balance. They're gonna come to this balance, and they're gonna have this inner justice. Okay. Oh, this is so exciting, you guys. So we have justice, and we have the sun. We have the angel of happiness, you guys. So our divine masculines, when they, after this tower moment, after they let go of all the things that have held them down for so long, they're going to come to this happiness. They're going to come to harmony, you guys. And this is so beautiful. So beautiful. So for our divine feminines, the clarifier that I have for these choices that she needs to make, basically she needs to come to peace with these choices that she makes. And we have the angel of peace. And basically the divine feminine will come to peace, you know, when it comes to these choices she needs to make, and she's going to have to choose. You know, like I said, she has a lot that she needs to choose. But one of the things that she needs to choose is to not be concerned about others around her, other people who are in relationships or in union, and to only be in competition with her higher self. And that's a choice that we should make daily, to only be in competition with the best version of you. Okay, loves? So when it comes to this ending that the Divine Feminine has to come to in order for there to be a new beginning, she needs to come to the ending when it comes to drama. The King of Swords. So this is really cool, you guys, because this is the ending of a cycle, the ending of drama. So basically, the Divine Feminine is delusional when it comes to her emotions, and she's going to have there's going to have to be an ending to the drama, all the lies that she tells herself, all the things she may not even be, you know, consciously aware of this drama, and what this drama, you know, this drama has to do with, you know, how the divine's perception is on this on a lots of things, but in particularly when it comes to her divine masculine. You know, the Divine Feminine needs to accept that, you know, wherever she is on this journey is exactly where she needs to be, or she wouldn't be there. You know, if she was supposed to be in union already with her beloved, she'd be in union. You know, and it's just, she's going to have to receive that. You know, she's going to have to appreciate and be thankful for everything she's been on throughout this journey, including if her divine masculine is with a karmic. You know, that had to happen as well in order for this union to take place. So the ending of drama. And before I go into my romance angels, I just want to say that the overall energy of the romance angels is playfulness. So I want to say to Divine Feminines that let's not be so serious when it comes to our Divine Masculines until they step up and they're serious about this union. You know, let's change what we choose to focus our attention on. Let's be more lighthearted, and because basically, like I said, what's yours is yours, or if it wasn't, you would never have a desire for it. So let's come to the ending of all this drama and just be lighthearted about this. And the Divine Masculines, you guys need to get serious. We've been serious too long. You guys need to get serious. So forgiving and learning. So this is what's blocking the Divine Masculine when it comes to love. He needs to he's working on forgiving. And it says, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in the present moments. So he's forgiving a lot. He's forgiving himself. So he's learning from his past mistakes that he's made. And there's just a lot of healing and forgiveness that needs to take place spiritually when it comes to the Divine Masculine. So that when he does forgive, he'll be able to connect to his inner being, to who he truly is. And as far as what the Divine Masculine needs to heal is engagement. So he needs to heal, you know, opening his throat chakra and engaging in conversation with his divine, you know. He also needs to heal when it comes to his perception of union and marriage. And for the divine feminine, we have what the divine feminine, what's blocking the divine feminine. It says pay attention to the red flags. So what I'm getting from this, you guys, for divine feminines is, you know, divine feminines are looking for all the red flags when they don't have to do that, because this union has already taken place. And part of the reason why you're not in union is because you can't even see that you are in union already. Okay? So whatever you feel like is a red flag is just an illusion. And that's only when I say that, I'm giving advice to twin flames. Okay? Not in any other relationship. Now, as far as what the divine feminine needs to heal is there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. So this goes with the red flags. So the divine this is what the divine feminine is healing right now. She's healing, observing what she's observing in the physical versus what's going on in the spiritual. So in the physical, it looks like there's not enough love there. If she's looking at everything she's observing in the physical, it looks like there's you know, there's not enough love there. But but if she just connects spiritually, that's where the sweet spot is. That's where union's at. And as long as she continues to connect spiritually and evolve spiritually, you know, her counterpart will do so as well. You know, she can't be so observant of everything that's going on around her in the physical. This is what is blocking her, you know. Sorry, loves. This is what's blocking her from this union. You know, she's too focused on what she's seeing versus the truth, versus what's in the spiritual, which is already taking place. You just have to line up with it. And you're not going to line up with it by observing what you see in the physical. It's like, even if you think about, like, you know, a successful person, if you ask them, you know, how did they become successful? You know, they didn't say, oh, I sat around thinking about being poor, or I sat around thinking about, you know, you can't get to happy from not being happy. You can't sit around and think about, you know, being sad if you want to be happy. It just doesn't go there. I want all of you divine masculines and divine feminines to know that great things take time, that great things are formed. You know, that even when the Most High, when God created the earth, you know, he didn't just say, and everything was here. He said day 1, day 2, day 3, it was formed. Okay? And I love you guys. And you know, if you guys are coming into union or you know, coming into even communication, and you haven't heard from your divines or your counterparts in a long time, and you have now, like, I want to hear about it, you guys. Leave comments. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. And I love, love, love you guys.